What's the deal, YouTube? CEO in the making, back with another haircut tutorial, and we're gonna do the fade Mohawk curl sponge on top, whatever you want to call it. Come up with your own name, because I don't know what to call it. Starting off with the Andy Slimline Pro Li, creating our first guideline slightly above the ear. So basically we're gonna just create like an arch shape, above the ear with our trimmers there. And as you can see, I'm just kind of using the edge of the blade to create that shape, and then I'm going to take out the rest of the hair underneath that arch that I created. So simple as that. Knocking out that hair underneath our first guideline. And as always, you want to make sure your guidelines are nice and neat and straight, because that's a big important part of the haircut. So just do your best, keep everything nice and neat. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the other side, but you guys can't see, so it's really no need to show you all of that. So real quick, I'm gonna take the Oster Fast Feeds and close the lever, and I'm just barely gonna go above the guideline that I just created. And when I say barely, I mean barely. I'm just kind of softening up that line just to make it an easier fade later on down the line. So, I'm, like I said, not even half an inch, like less than that, just barely softening up that line just to make it easier to fade out. So now we're gonna create our second guideline with the lever open. So y'all can see I switched that lever from closed to open. And now I'm going, above the initial guideline a little bit higher this time, and I'm just going to create that that same process on both sides. So right now I'm working on my left side all the way around the back to my head, just following that arch shape that we started off with, so that's what y'all can see me working on right here. So one tip that I have is to cut your hair in like different directions. So right there, you see I was going up, and now I'm going like sideways. So like your hair, it grows different all over your head. So sometimes in order to get an even cut, to make sure everything is neat, even all the way around your head, like sometimes you got to go at different angles to make sure you're getting everything to the same length. So like you can see me going up, I'm going up like against the grain, and then I come like at a sideways angle to make sure I get all the hairs even. So right here, I'm throwing on that number 1 guard, lever open, and now we're about to create our third guideline. So this, you can go, a little bit higher than the previous 2 guidelines, because, it's really the last guideline that you'll be creating. So you can see this guideline is a little higher than the other ones that I was doing. And again, just following that same shape all the way around to the back of my head, working on my left side here, and then shortly I'll be going on to the other side. All right, so working on my right side now, and as y'all can see, it's the exact same as the other side, just following that arch shape, attacking the hair at different angles, trying to make sure I get it all even, and right here throwing on that number 0 guard, and we're going to close the lever, and we're going to try and start blending out that that guideline that we just set in with the number 1. So as y'all can see, I'm doing real short, steady strokes, just trying to attack that line, to try and ease it on out. I'm not going super high. I'm just real quick strokes and just attacking it, and then I'm using, like on certain parts, I'm using the corner. I'm not using the entire blade. I'm just using the corner, trying to ease that line on out. It's like a slow and steady, you know what I'm saying? You just got to do it a little bit at a time, look at it, see how it's coming, and then go from there. So And the same thing applies when you're trying to blend out the guidelines. You might have to attack the hair, you know, at a different angle in order to get that line to blend on out. So let's see, I'm going up right there, and then, you know, other times I was coming at like straight sideways angle. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so we're gonna throw the number 1 guard, open up the lever, and I'm going with the grain, basically trying to take down some of the bulk, trying to, you know, where my hair is longer, right above the faded area, I'm trying to take some of that hair down to try and fade it into the fade, if that makes sense. So I'm not, you know, I'm not taking off a whole lot of hair. I'm not taking off any hair off the top of my head. I'm still working on the side of my head, just attacking the bulk right above, you know, the area that we just faded. So I'm just doing that on both sides all the way from the front to the back. So now I'm going to throw on the number 2 guard, and I'm going to close the lever. So basically I'm going to be attacking the bulk again, but I'm going against the grain, and I'm going like straight up from the side of my head. So I'm going up on the side, and then like it's like I'm taking the clipper up towards the ceiling, basically. Like I'm not taking the clippers into the top of my hair. I'm not digging into the top of my hair. So I'm going up, just straight up, you know, attacking the side and just going straight up. So that's what you can see me doing. Like I said, I'm not digging into the hair or the mohawk. I'm just, you know, still just trying to ease the fade into the rest of the hair, the longer hair. So now I'm picking out the hair, because to continue shaping the mohawk, I'm just going to freehand it. So I'm picking it out, and now I got the fast feeds, no guard, lever closed, and I'm just going straight up. You know, you're trying to almost create like a high top fade type of look. You know what I mean? You just, you know, you want the sides to be square and like just straight up and down. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish with the clippers. I'm just going straight up, creating like a high top fade type of look. So as you can see, when you see it from the front angle, it almost looks kind of like a high top fade. So right here, before I do my lineup, I'm basically taking like 1/2 of an inch of my hairline and separating it from the rest of my hair, so I can cut the, you know, the hair around my hairline down to make it easier to line up. So basically I'm just taking a straight line across my hairline, separating the hair and combing it down, and then I'm going to cut that hair down with the number 1, lever open. So I'm not cutting the hair behind, you know, the part that I separated. I'm just, that little bit of hair on the front of my hairline, I'm just cutting that down to make it easier to line up. So now I have my Andes T outliner trimmers, and I'm just starting in the front of my hairline, starting the lineup process. So I mean, it's really not a whole lot to say about that. I'm just starting in the front, trying to make it straight across, and I'm just, you know, tapping at the hairline. I'm not digging into it or, you know, taking a whole lot of hair off. You know, I'm just slowly tapping at it, trying to make it straight all the way across. So now we're gonna take the curl sponge and just go ahead and kind of finish off the cut. You know, so I'm just taking that curl sponge and working it all the way around, you know, my head, you know what I'm saying? All the way around to the back, on the top. And that's really the last step, you know what I mean? So that's the before. And then this is the after. Do a little left and right. So let me know what y'all think about the cut. You know, if you like the video, hit that like button. Just don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And see you on the making. More videos to come. Stay tuned.